Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 pilot, and in this video I'm very excited to finally have a look at the ZIBO Boeing 737. So many of you have told me I absolutely need to give this a go, so I finally got X-Plane, and therefore I finally have the chance to do just that. So very quick point. Right now my X-Plane is running a little bit unstable. Indeed, the version I purchased from Steam still has problems, and therefore I had to get the demo version of Laminar Research's own X-Plane copy. So for that reason, if things are a little bit time constrained today, since I'm limited to those 15 minutes right now, then please keep that in mind. However, here's the plan for today's video. I will do a very quick FMC setup as we are spawning on the runway, and then we'll take it airborne, make a traffic pattern around the box, and then come back for an approach and landing. Alright then, here we are. Enough data out of date, not really a problem. I'm just going to do a very quick setup here. I won't go into any details about the airplane, so my apologies for that. There will be a later video where I am going to have a full look into the airplane and where I'm going to do a full review, maybe even a comparison between the ZIBO and the PMDG, but that remains to be seen for the future. So for now, this is pretty much what we got, and we are just going to explore the flight dynamics and explore how the airplane itself feels, because that is really what I feel to be the most important stuff over here. Okay, so that is the quickest possible FMC setup we could do, and that is indeed all I believe we will need. So, the flaps are out at 5, speed brakes in, and auto brakes armed. I think we are ready to go, so let's go ahead and take the airplane flying. I will not use any automation, I will simply keep it on manual control in this video, but then again there will be another video where I'm going to go into full detail. Okay then, stabilized, set take a thrust. Thrust set, indications normal.
80 knots.
Track. You want rotate. Hey, entering the dead band here, nice. And then 15 degrees, gear up.
400.
Track. Okay, let's start accelerating. 7.5 degrees of pitch. Flaps 1. And flaps up. Okay, climb thrust, let's go about 85%, 12 degrees of pitch, and that should work quite well. Yeah, it somewhat does. Okay, let's start a left turn out. So here's the first thing, let's just look at the rate at which the airplane banks, because this actually looks quite alright. So, 3,000 feet, 60% thrust, that should give us a nice 220 knots roughly, at 5 degrees of pitch. Okay, come on, back to the clean speeds. Okay, 3,000. Come on, airplane, start decelerating. Let's go all the way to idle. So, at the flaps up maneuvering speed, I'm expecting 5 degrees of pitch at roughly 55% N1, since we're at a rather light growth rate today. So let's see, that's our thrust set. And 5 degrees pitch, 55% N1. And that actually looks alright. Trimming it out is taking very, very long over here. I would expect the trim to be faster, that's for sure. But this is somewhat alright. Okay, so established on the downwind. There is our airport just over there. And this is looking alright. Let's just do another check. If we accelerate towards 250 knots now, first of all, the nose should really come up as we add thrust, which it does. And trimming really takes too long here. Okay, and now at about 62% thrust and 2.5 degrees of pitch, we should be able to keep our we should roughly be able to keep our level flight. But this might be a little bit too fast, but I accelerated it a bit too much as well, so let's just take the speed down again. Okay, maintaining altitude, 250 knots, 62% roughly. Should work quite well. Okay, that looks alright indeed. Cool, then we are on the downwind. Let me just quickly readjust the landing runway. This is going to be on 28 left now. And landing flaps. That's interesting. That's not supposed to become large font. But okay, landing flaps 30, 110.5. Active and 283 on the course. Okay, pretty much like this. I'm simply going to extend the downwind until the glide flow passes through, and then we can do our final turns. Come on, airplane. Somewhat constantly it seems to be moving around a bit. Once it is trimmed out, normally the 737 is a pretty stable airplane. Obviously, on the basis that there is no external disturbances coming in. Okay then, let's start a final turn. Taking my speed back. I'll simply keep it an idle. Okay, the glide slope is coming alive. But we shouldn't actually see the glide slope. We should only see that when we're within 90 degrees of the selected course. That's the reason why I put it up on the standby. Because normally you can't see it over here until you pass within 90 degrees. So we'll see about it. Okay, now you should have it in view. Hey, let's adjust our rate of bank. Okay, some 55% N1, that should be good. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Vocalizer alive. And flaps 5. Okay. Established. Established on the glide. Engines in idle, flaps 5. We should more or less be maintaining our speed pretty much like we are. Okay. So, that is looking good. Let's see, what's the timer right now? 10 minutes in. So, with a bit of luck, we might be able to do the second traffic pattern before those 15 minutes of the demo version are over. I really need to get rid of that limitation, but yeah, it is something that I will do once I'm back from the next 4 days of training, which basically starts Saturday. Okay, so following the ILS actually feels quite alright. And let's arm the speed brake if we can. Okay, speed brake's armed. At 4 miles I'm going to extend the landing gear, as per the SOPs that I'm used to. And might as well use the moment to set our runway track. Like so. Okay, 4 miles out, gear down, flaps 15. Not touching the controls right now. I don't know, this feels realistic to me. Okay, flaps 30. 137 knots. I don't know, those pitching moments felt a bit strange there.
1,000.
Back.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Okay, so with the flaps 30, I'm expecting roughly 1 or 2 degrees pitch and about 56% and 1 on the final. Pretty much like so. Okay, flight's quite stable, like the 737 should. Probably a little bit too little pitch.
400.
Like, you see the pitch right now, in the region of about 0 degrees. That should be a flap 40 landing, not a flap 30 landing. Okay, now let's wonder about the landing. Basically,
200.
Once I'm pulling the thrust off, I should need quite a bit of of elevator. So let's see how that's going to work
100.
out. Following the glide is easy, that's for sure.
50. 40.
Hey,
30.
flare,
20.
pull up.
10.
Perfect. Just as it should be. Okay, nice. Let's use a bit of manual braking, slow it down and bring it to a stop. So, my very first impression of the ZIBO. Well, obviously we didn't check much of the systems. What we went over, I did see quite a couple of bugs, but I'm going to do a separate video when I have a little bit more time outside of this 15 minutes airplane constraint there. And I am going to do a full video on that topic. However, for now, the manual flight dynamics did feel quite good. I am quite happy with those. A little bit thing there with the pitch on the short final. It seemed like I needed a little bit too little pitch. I would have expected like a degree or two more nose up pitch. But then again, the flare felt really good, I have to say. Even though at like 40 feet or so, I felt there was a nose down input introduced, which I'm not sure where that came from. Because normally, you don't need to pull at 40, but at like 25 to 30 feet, and then you get a nose down input because you reduce thrust, and that causes a pitching down moment. Now, that wasn't the case here, so I'm not sure. Maybe when I do more landings on the ZIBO, that will become a little bit clearer. However, on the very first indication at least, it did look like there was something in play which didn't seem 100% right. But nonetheless, I do have to say, I know that some of you are going to ask, so what is better, PMDT or ZIBO? And honestly, after I've flown the ZIBO for, 2 traffic patterns, it would be quite unfair to make a judgment. What I can say so far is that my experience with this felt not too bad. Not perfect either, there could be things that could be improved over there, but I am sure that when I do a little bit more flights on it, things are going to become a little bit clearer. So that's just my first impression. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you liked this one. If you did, do let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to see you again very soon. And as always, if you liked the video, leave a like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And if you really like what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below, or to see you as a channel member, giving you early access to new videos before they're released for everyone else. Thank you for watching, and see you again very soon.